In 12 investigates turmoil over staffing, morale, and leadership at the Forsyth County Jail. County commissioners call it a crisis.
While Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough begs for more staffing and money, he spoke at a commissioners meeting in September.
We are currently, it's no secrets, our numbers are very high in terms of people that are resigning, people that are leaving for various reasons.
While the sheriff is open about shortages, a former detention center officer says he is tight-lipped about working conditions and management. Our
Devontae McKenna spent months on this investigation. He joins us now from downtown Winston-Salem.
The county says staffing at the Forsyth County Jail is a serious concern. There are almost 50 vacant detention officer positions as of this week. A now former detention officer says there's a reason behind this, and it boils down to morale and leadership inside this building.
God help him, let God be on his side, because with the issues that are going on in that jail now, he's going to need every ounce of God's help.
Prayers to the man above from a man below who used to work inside this jail. Craig Smith is in fear of backlash. He worked at the Forsyth County Jail for almost 15 years, resigning in September. He says detention officer shortages are doing two things. One, putting lives at risk, and two, leaving officers overworked and overwhelmed. He says inmates know the issue and are using it to their advantage.
It's either you're going to get hurt or you're going to get killed. One of them two things is going to happen.
Craig says officers are leaving not just because of shortages in the mandatory OT, but more so thanks to issues with leadership and the command staff. Detention officers feel like they're not being supported.
The officers are not going to trust the chain of command staff, and chain of command staff is still going to continue to keep doing what they're doing. And until that changes, there's going to be no meeting in the middle.
Not all hope is lost. There is some middle ground. Both sides agree, yes, officers are leaving because of pay, but the sheriff says morale and leadership are just fine. He doesn't think the jail is mismanaged at all.
The morale at the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office is high as it has ever been. Ever.
And this is where some officers are not seeing eye to eye with Sheriff Kimbrough. Turns out they're also not the only ones with questions about morale and leadership. The sheriff went back and forth with county commissioners in September. It was heated at times because they thought the sheriff played dodgeball with their questions.
One of the complaints I got from some of the detention officers was the management, not the salary. Have we done any thoughts about that? Has the sheriff done anything about that?
Some of the comments are as relates to the work conditions, the salary, how the shifts are. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of the stress is coming from the shortage. But
what I'm trying to figure out is what's the internal problems in this facility as opposed to Guilford or others? And if there are some, are there efforts made to clean it up?
Of course, I'm making efforts every day to figure out how to make a better cake, how to create a better work environment. If you look at what happened in Mecklenburg County, Gaston County sits next door. Gaston County is one of the agencies that don't have that issue because they'll raise their salaries close to about $55,000 starting.
Another commissioner echoing the same concerns, all while demanding the sheriff's full attention.
The issue of working conditions, management, leadership issues, those things, they were pretty high. Salary was a part of it, but it wasn't the number one driver. Got to make changes for sure. So, and I'm assuming, are you finished with talking to Randy here?
No, sir, I was listening to you.
I don't think you were, but maybe I'd like to ask Randy to sit down, perhaps might be a good thing to do. Well, I have nothing else to say.
We sat down with Sheriff Kimbrough 2 months later. Put the shortage aside.
Okay,
how would you discuss that morale and leadership issue, though?
The morale, you can't separate morale if I'm having to work overtime. You can't separate that, Devon. You just can't. Because morale is affected by my having to go to work when I normally would have been off.
The sheriff said changes have been made since that September meeting, including the hiring of a detention quality coordinator. They will work to see what needs attention and improvement inside the Forsyth County Jail. Past and present officers say they hope the jail fixes what the public can't see.
It is a dangerous place right now. Tell the truth. Let people decide for themselves what they see and don't see. I mean, if you want to be transparent, be transparent. Tell the truth.
I heard from several detention center employees while working on this story, at least 5 of them, all echoing Craig's sentiments. A consultant being brought in by the county will soon survey the staff inside this building about the overall morale and leadership taking place inside the jail. We expect those results to be back by February of 2023, and we have already submitted a public records request demanding a copy. We'll keep you updated. In Forsyth County, I'm Devontae McKenneth, WXII 12 News.